All right, good on my end. How you doing over there?
Hello. Fuck you. Oh.
You gotta stop hitting this on this though.
Wow, there's a tail band.
So 28, right?
Yeah,
Action
for record,
28?
I don't really have any news here.
Okay. We'll just do the James Gunn thing. I kind of want to get this over with as quick as possible.
Wow. I'm happy to be in your company as well. Just go. Roll it.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 28. It's actually 28. I fucked it up last week. Of the movie ReBrew podcast. I'm your host, Keegan Holland, and with me is my co-host, Mike Jennison.
Hello, all.
Well, for the record, it was your fault.
Yeah, I know. Before the podcast started, Keegan said, "What episode is this?" And I said, 100% it's episode 26. Got it wrong. It happens.
This week, we saw two movies, and by we, I mean Mike saw two movies. I only saw one of them.
You didn't see Skyscraper?
I didn't see Skyscraper.
Dude, you had 5 days.
I know, I had 5 days. Well, we were supposed to do it Tuesday, but then plans got canceled, and then I had till Saturday, and I still didn't see it.
Oh, my
That's
God.
on me. That's on me.
And you have Movie Pass.
I know.
There's
I
no
don't even know.
excuse.
I think I've been super lazy this week. I don't know what I've been doing. Oh, I've been playing a ton of FIFA. But we'll get to that later, I guess.
I guess.
Before we get to the movie reviews, we are drinking Bud Light Orange, which is new this year or last year?
Summer, yeah.
Man, this summer's been so long.
Never ends.
Yeah. I mean, we've both had them, right?
Yeah.
And damn, is it good. It is just alcoholic Fanta, basically.
They kind of did me dirty last week. Not really. There was a lot of stuff that was a factor. But yeah, good.
Yeah, I had a bunch of these over vacation. And man, sitting in the sun and drinking Bud Light Orange, it's up there with Bud Light Lime. I'm still deciding which one I like better.
I like Bud Light Orange better. There's like...
I think lime is more refreshing, but orange might just taste better.
If you told me this was 1%, I'm like, yeah, it probably is.
What is it actually, like 4.2?
4.2, I think.
Yeah, they're amazing. And you got Tall Boys, which I'm very excited about.
I got 24 ounces. And I made breakfast today, and it's 9 o'clock, so... not 9 o'clock, 10:16.
Yeah.
I catch a wicked buzz.
Yeah, I haven't eaten in like 24 hours, so this will be interesting.
Damn.
All right, let's get to the news.
Good evening. I'm Will McAvoy.
And I'm Evan Baxter, and here's what's making news.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
So huge news this week.
Probably the only thing worth mentioning.
Yeah, I mean, it is Comic-Con going on right now, so there's a few little things. But James Gunn has been fired, released, disassociated with Disney, because he wasn't officially signed on to do Guardians 3, but is kind of like a...
Foregone conclusion.
Yeah. Because he's been posting pictures of him with the script and everything, so it was going to happen. But he was fired by Disney on Friday for some controversial tweets he tweeted out.
Not even necessarily
years ago.
Fired then. It would be kind of like distance themselves,
Yeah, they
right?
distanced themselves, yeah. But from some controversial tweets he tweeted out 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
He said like back in the day he was always trying to be an edgy comic. So he has like some pedophile jokes, some rape jokes, and yeah, they're distasteful and they're not good. They're not even funny at all. But yeah, so he was let go because, well, a lot of tinfoil hats out there saying it was either pro-Trump people going at him because he's very vocal about his hatred for Trump on Twitter, or DC fanboys because he mocked the Titans trailer that came out earlier this week. So either group, I don't know, probably neither, but yeah. So
I think it was Trump group. I thought
I could see it being Trump. Well, it was one guy, I think,
or at least a Trump supporter
at the forefront of it. Yeah, that was a Trump supporter. But yeah, this is huge for Marvel because he was supposed to kind of lead the way after Infinity War and Part 2 ended, because he's supposed to go cosmic from here. And with him being behind two of the biggest franchises in Marvel and them taking place in space, yeah, it was pretty much his.
Wait, what else is behind Guardians?
Guardians, those two movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he's Guardians.
He is Guardians, yeah.
Without James Gunn, I don't know
right
what those movies are.
And even the good part of Guardians in Infinity War is still James Gunn, because he wrote a lot of the dialogue and picked Rubber Band Man, which was a highlight of that movie.
I listened to the car right here, and I was like, damn, no James Gunn. It's too bad. That third soundtrack, first few soundtracks have been incredible.
Yeah.
I think Guardians is my favorite franchise out of all the Marvel.
It's a lot of people's, yeah.
I mean, it's just 60s, 70s music, funny humor, a little dicey humor, but I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I guess it showed dating back to 10 years. But
yeah, but supposedly he came out in 2012 and apologized for them. So, like, and you'd think, like, when Disney hired him the first time, they would do a background check. And, like, and they would already know about this stuff.
Yeah, it seems like James Gunn was pretty open with, like, his past to everybody. I'm sure Disney probably knew, and the minute it came to light, they had to axe him.
A large population spoke out against it, then they had to.
Yeah. Where do you fall on it? Would you fire him if you were Disney?
No, I mean, it was swift justice. It was like they came out, like, Thursday night, and he was done by Friday morning.
Yeah, I didn't hear a single word until you texted me James Gunn out.
Yeah. So I would have at least talked to him. It seemed like there was no discussion at all. He was just like, all right, he's done. So maybe there's more to it. Like maybe higher-ups are also Trump supporters and they hate James Gunn. I don't know. And this is a good excuse to get rid of him. But I don't know. It was weird. I wouldn't have, but extremely biased opinion.
I wouldn't have either, especially 10 years. It wasn't like it was yesterday.
And he has apologized for it. I don't know.
Apologized in the past for it.
I might throw my own tinfoil hat on and think there's a conspiracy theory going on here, but I don't know. Yeah, it was unexpected.
And he's a comedian.
Right.
Comedians, they push the line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of 9/11, a lot of Holocaust jokes. I think we've all laughed at those from time to time. I mean,
I watched Bo Burnham last night, and he has both of those jokes in there, and I laughed very hard.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I would let it slide, but that's the world we're in right now.
We're also in a time in Hollywood where you gotta cut this stuff out immediately. You can't really let it. I mean, some people are fine, Johnny Depp and what have you, but
somehow Johnny Depp's fine.
Yeah, but I understand where they're coming from. I get it, but I just kind of wish it didn't happen. Where do you think they go from here?
I saw a fan theory. Taika Waititi and Guardians. It'd be a Thor Guardians mashup for Guardians 3, and Taika Waititi would direct it.
I think
that'd be perfect.
I think that's the no-brainer choice here. You're staying in universe. You have a person that's already worked with Marvel. Thor Ragnarok was basically a Guardians movie. It's out in outer space. It's weird as hell, and I think he'd slot in perfectly. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how much he incorporates music into it.
I think the music, it takes a big hit because he's a New Zealander. I watched his movie Boy a couple weeks ago, and he talks about Michael Jackson a lot. So, I mean, I think he's familiar with probably a lot of big musicians from America, but James Gunn went so, like, small and niche with some of his song choices that I think you lose a lot not having James Gunn there.
Those subjects are so good. We actually watched Guardians 2 after the last podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And I gave that movie shit, but that movie's actually really good.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of forgettable. I remember the first one like crystal clear, but I'm spotty on the second one.
Yeah. Even still, after watching it last week, but yeah, it's funny.
Speaking of Marvel and comic books, Comic-Con is this week. There's a trailer for Titans, which is a new DC show. I watched it. It looks absolutely garbage. They're trying to go hard again. Like, Robin beats the shit out of the guys and then goes, "Fuck Batman." Like, fuck off. Like, no one wants that. Yeah, and it's just like angsty teens kicking ass, and I'm not going to watch it.
It's a TV show?
Yeah, but it's going to be on DC's streaming service.
DC's a streaming service?
Well, it's good. It's like all their comic books ever, all their shows, all their movies, all on one platform.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool, but I'm not gonna get it. News from Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show is coming back after like 7 years off. They're getting a last season, I think. Some people are juiced about that. I didn't watch it, but I guess it's really good. And then Aquaman poster came out. Did you see that poster?
Oh, it looks brutal.
So bad.
It looks gonna be so shitty.
I don't know, though. I think the movie will be good, but that poster is just terrible.
Cody's tweet about us drinking salt water.
Yeah, drinking salt water for the review.
I guess it might be. I don't know. He was a good part in the Justice League.
I like Jason Momoa, and James Wan is directing it. He's behind like The Conjuring and all those movies.
Do you like The Conjuring?
I haven't seen them, but they get good reviews.
I've seen The Conjuring twice. I saw The Conjuring 1 twice in theaters and just don't like it.
Oh, really? And then he's behind Fast and Furious 7, which people love. I thought it's garbage. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm holding out hope. Good cast. The trailer comes out today, but we won't be able to talk about it because we're doing this right now. And then no other news from me. You got anything?
Got nothing.
Nothing?
There's a lot of Comic-Con things, but nothing
Nothing big. I think Marvel and DC's Hall H's are today and tomorrow, maybe? Like, they haven't really gone and done anything yet. There might be some Captain Marvel news, maybe, coming out.
They finished filming it. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. They won't have a trailer. I'm not sure if she's going, though. I don't know. I guess we'll talk about that next week if it happens. But for now, let's get to the 2 movies we saw.
You can't handle the truth.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Should we start with Skyscraper?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Skyscraper, Keegan didn't see it.
Sorry.
Bum. But this really stemmed from a tweet that the director tweeted at me about 3 weeks ago. Rawson Marshall Thurber. I might have slaughtered his name, but basically I tweeted out saying this looks like the worst movie The Rock has ever done. It's a bad ripoff of Die Hard, but it'll probably still gross over $500 million. First off, this movie's getting killed at the box office, absolutely destroyed. So I was wrong. But on the first 2 counts, ripoff of the Die Hard, yeah. Is it the worst thing Rock's ever done? Probably not. This movie I was entertained.
Really?
To the point of where I was always like, this is kind of bad, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
There was some really bad, like, duct tape jokes.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's like, if you can't fix it with duct tape, you're not using enough duct tape. And, like, I just started cracking up. Is that a good joke? Yeah. No, it's terrible. But it's so corny it works. That's kind of the whole movie. It was so corny and so predictable, but it was entertaining as hell. The Rock's really charismatic, as always. As far as the artificial leg goes, so unnecessary, but... And now they're trying to spin it like, oh, it's so motivational, people with amputees. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't speak for them, but... Like, at one point, The Rock's leg's falling off. And he uses the leg to, like, tie it to the rope so he can climb up. And then the door's about to shut to get into, like, where the Hans Gruber character is. For the record, the big bad in this movie, he speaks in a foreign accent. So bad. And then
he's not like Eastern European, though, is he?
Yeah, it's like a Hans Gruber accent. It's brutal. And it takes place in Tokyo. But, like, the villain's Eastern European. But then The Rock uses his artificial leg to stop the door from jamming, crawls under his leg, then pulls his leg out, then kisses it, and says, "I love you."
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much like Die Hard. I just want to see Die Hard by the end of it.
Yeah.
What was good?
Is the action good?
Not really.
Are the special effects good?
Sure. This movie cost a lot of money to make, you could tell. The tower's cool looking. It was a cool concept, I guess. The tower's the biggest tower in the world, and like inside of it's like kind of a cool world.
Was it funny?
Yeah, I thought. I mean, like not like
it wasn't dodgeball funny, which is this guy also.
No, and it wasn't really even trying to make that many jokes. And a lot of the humor I got from it was just like, this is not a great movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I had a good time with it though, and I think most people would.
I'm just trying to think if I should actually go and see it now after we've already done this. I'm thinking no.
I don't think you should.
Okay.
But it's a good time. Like, I don't know. Like,
again, it is free.
It is so much not my movie.
Yeah. And
it's the first movie I've seen like this since like high school. Kind of just like a big action movie. And all action movies are pretty predictable at the end of the day. All big budget, modern day box office action movies.
Yeah. I haven't seen a bad movie that I didn't want to see in theaters since probably the 6th grade. Like, I've seen bad movies, but I wanted to see them.
Like, I haven't got dragged to the theater.
Right. Like, Phantom Thread. Like, I wanted to see Phantom Thread, but I hated it.
The Phantom Thread.
The Phantom Thread. But yeah, I don't think I'll like this, so I think I'm just going to avoid it.
With MoviePass, I think I might actually drag myself to theater to see some bad movies.
Yeah, but for like for certain ones, like for Dumbo and the Nutcracker, because it's Disney, like it could be something. Like this is nothing for me. I don't think this is going to be anything.
That's fine. Most people aren't going to see this movie, so it's not going to come in conversation.
Right.
Where like you could just maybe people will actually like that Nutcracker movie, and you could just roast them for how bad it is. Like I would have watched Baywatch last year if I had Movie Pass, even though I had no urge to see that movie.
You would have?
I would have.
This falls in the same kind of thing for me. Maybe I'm just tying that to because it's The Rock, but I would have seen. What I would have seen it was Jumanji. I would have seen.
Oh, for sure, I saw Jumanji.
Yeah,
for sure, I saw Jumanji.
Again, I'm just pulling out Rock movies here.
But I actually want to see Jumanji.
Did you want to see it before it did really well?
No, not at all.
See, that's like if this did sick, I'm no more motivated to see this. But because Jumanji did super well, I was more motivated to see that.
Because it's true.
I'm skipping this one. That's my verdict on this. I'm not seeing it.
But if this is like an 85%, and I come out saying, "Dude, Keegan, pretty good movie, you should go see it," then you go see it.
Yeah. But you're giving it like the most lukewarm reaction of all time, and it's doing terribly. So
yeah, you probably should skip it.
What does it have on Rotten Tomatoes? Like
50% on the money, exactly. You know, I don't know. I want to talk to someone else that saw it and see like if they enjoyed it. Like a meat eater. A meat eater. It's such a mean take. I'm sorry. You can take that out. But
what did you say? A meat eater?
Yeah, by that means like someone who just likes like big box office movies. Okay. A meat eater. I saw that.
Excellent Neanderthal.
I saw that. Yeah, which is brutal. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what they would think. Well, like John liked it. Our trivia host that we go to on Tuesdays.
He liked it because it was dumb.
Yeah, but he says he likes like bad dumb movies.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to Jacob Rossi, how much would Jacob Rossi like this movie?
Oh, Jacob Rossi. This is right up his alley, I think. I think he'd really enjoy this movie. But he's a meat eater, so.
Yeah, he is. All right. Anything else? I mean, you can spoil it. Is there any big thing at the end you want to talk about it?
Twice, Rock kills somebody by just sprinting from the background forward and pushing them in a hole.
Pushing them in a hole? Is the building not finished?
So, at one point, there's like a Central Park inside the tower, which I liked. Like, it's a beautiful park, which I thought was really cool. And the grass catches on fire, and there's a bridge that's probably, 10 stories up that breaks in half. I forget why it breaks in half. But not the Hans Gruber character. This is a different terrorist.
The long blonde-haired character.
Yeah, if you would. Who's holding the wife, and The Rock just comes... No, he's pointing a gun at the wife. And of course he's doing this monologue of like, I feel bad killing your children, but not you, and is about to pull the trigger, and The Rock just comes running out of the background and just pushes him to the fire pit. And then I started laughing out loud. And then the final scene, he's holding The Rock's daughter, and he has a grenade in his hand, the Hans Gruber character, and The Rock sprints out of the background and pushes him, and he goes falling, but he's holding on to The Rock's daughter, so the daughter almost falls down too, but The Rock grabs her before he dies. But then he lets go of the grenade in midair, and then the grenade explodes and kills him, the bad character. I will give him credit, though, for the final fight scene. Yeah. That final action scene was actually cool, now that I'm thinking about it. It took place in a room where there was a bunch of, like, mirrors almost, like screens, so you couldn't tell where anyone was. So people almost a funhouse, almost like a funhouse, if you would. I thought that was actually pretty cool. So people were shooting at like mirrors, and you couldn't tell who was real and who wasn't. So that was cool.
How was the jump from the trailer?
Just the most brutal scene I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Is it as bad as the trailer predicted, where he's jumping 1,000,000 feet?
It almost seems doable, I guess, in the movie. Not as ridiculous, but pretty damn
In the
bad.
trailer, it was like no one's ever making that jump, but...
Well, he's trying to figure out how to get into the tower, so he starts scaling a crane. And he probably climbs up a crane 200 stories.
Okay.
And then he jumps from the crane to the building.
So, I mean, he is gassed after getting up there, and then he makes an impossible jump.
He
is The Rock, though.
And he ends up grabbing just by his hands, and then he pulls himself up.
How do they justify him being a massive man? I feel like in every movie The Rock's in, you need to justify him being just the biggest person.
He's a former Marine or Marine, so something in the military. Hostage. He worked for the hostage for the CIA. I think he was an ex-Marine, hostage CIA. That's how he lost his leg.
Okay.
So that was, and then now he's an insurance agent. That's why he knows the building so well.
Oh, he's insuring the building?
Yeah, insuring the building.
And
like, isn't in Die Hard the owner of like the tower, or not the tower, the owner of the business is Asian, right?
Yeah.
And he's like the only Asian guy in the movie. Same here.
Nice.
And he's trying to save the wife, trying to save the family. It takes place in a building.
Does he have
It's a one-man
Does he have a
show.
limo driver at the bottom of the building waiting to jump in?
No limo driver.
Is Reginald Van Johnson hanging out as a police officer?
No, he should be.
But
But there's police officers kind of at the bottom.
Is there a man that loves basketball hacking the safe?
No, Die Hard's an incredible action. Okay. If you haven't seen Die Hard,
I'm saying what if they stole just identical things, but
for the record, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, when they do the for his bachelor party.
Oh yeah,
when Revel whatever Johnson's there.
Yeah, it's so good.
I was crying the whole time. It was so funny.
They need to get Bruce Willis in an episode.
He's got to.
He deserves it.
That's my favorite running gag is how much he loves Die Hard.
Yeah, it's so funny. All right, so let's go to the movie we both saw.
Oh, I should give it a score.
Oh yeah,
I'll give it a.
Don't do it.
I'll give it a 6.
Really?
Just because, you know what, Thurber, I like you. I'll give you a thumbs up too. I will never see this movie again. Would I recommend it to you if you are a meat eater? That's it.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Does that make me an asshole?
No.
Makes me pretentious, sure.
Yeah. 6 out of 10. That's way higher than I expected.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was only an hour and a half long too.
Oh, wow,
movie flies.
perfect.
Movie soars. Really quick. There was not a lag in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of action. So.
All right.
And it's got The Rock.
At one point, you had me sold, but then I forget what you did that made me. I think it was pushing Rock, just throwing people off ledges, sold me. Oh, the Central Park thing. I kind of wanted to see the building.
The building's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't hate it. You wouldn't love it.
I'm skipping it.
I don't think it's worth your time, but if you saw it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that was okay.
If it comes to like Netflix or something,
Amazon or something.
yeah, I might watch it.
And like just put it in the
And
background while you're like,
I have 6 steaks in front of me. I can just crush
just red meat.
steaks.
Just have red meat dripping down your body. That's the way to enjoy this movie.
All right, so let's get to the main movie. Sorry to Bother You. Small indie movie sitting at 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that has made $7.4 million domestically.
And what's the director's name? I love his name.
Bootsy Riley?
Boots Riley.
Boots Riley?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah. Is it his first?
It's his first thing. He's the lead singer of a rap group. Or I guess we play all sing, but he's a member of a rap group.
Yeah.
First movie, he's like 42, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't even want to really talk about the movie too much because what you see in the trailers, I found out is not really what the movie's about at all. They give you very little in the trailer.
I thought this was gonna be a funny satire.
Yeah,
Definitely a satire, but not that funny. But funny.
There's funny moments.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not doing this movie justice. I laughed a lot. However, this isn't a comedy at all.
I'm very confused about what this movie is.
Yeah. And I think Boots Riley was always confused what message he wants to get across. Or at least he confused me.
Yeah, it seemed very obvious that this was the first time directing
Yes.
because there are moments I'm just like, you probably shouldn't have done that. There's a couple of times where a scene just ends, and I'm like, well, what was the point of that?
Were you tired walking out of the theater? Because I was exhausted.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I just felt like, what's going on? I couldn't keep up. I don't know if I couldn't keep up or if it was just paced poorly or I don't know what it was. But
Ambitious as hell, though.
Yeah, very ambitious. But very early on, just as an example, a scene should have ended, but then Tessa Thompson comes in wearing these really cool earrings, and then Lakeith Stanfield goes, "I like your earrings." And then it just like fades to the next scene. Like, just cut that part. It just felt so weird having it just like slowly fade in the next scene, and that just did absolutely nothing. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. And that happened a couple more times throughout the movie. I'm just like, oh, it just kind of turned me off to the whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah. First time director, so that kind of makes sense. There's some he tried to jam like so much meaning and so much message into the movie, but it kind of jumbled up everything.
And I liked the message for the first 3/4 of it, and then it just kind of turns on it. Because there's like a subtle thing going on in the background the entire time. Like you see it on TV, you see it on billboards. It just kind of, for me, initially I thought it was just trying to make this world seem a little off, but it wasn't doing anything more than that. But then that becomes the main message, and it just totally falls off a cliff for me. But I loved.
When we get into spoilers, you explain that more. I'm a little confused, but yeah, I think I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I love the beginning. The performances are amazing. Everyone's super good in it. I love
outstanding performance by everybody.
I love Lakeith Stanfield. He's in Atlanta. Check out Atlanta if you haven't seen it. And then my girl Tessa Thompson. They're both great.
He's also in Short Term 12. That's a Brie Larson movie. I think it's still on Netflix. Brie Larson's best performance, and he is outstanding in it.
Yeah.
And you get to see him rap.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He also raps in Atlanta too, right?
No, he doesn't. Oh. He raps in this movie.
Oh, he does rap in this movie. Kinda.
This is a very hard R as well. And very artsy, so I couldn't recommend it to many people, I don't think.
As I was driving away, my brother would say, like, who would you recommend this to? And I'd be like, not that many people.
Maybe no one. I guess we should get to scores before we get into spoilers. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
I've been debating 7.5 to an 8. I'll just give him an 8 because I respect what he tried to do here.
Yeah.
And the more time has gone by, I've had a little more time to like kind of digest everything, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So I walked out. I saw it with 2 other people, Cody, friend of the show, and Mike Arado. Arado came out of the movie saying top 10 movie he's ever seen, which I just thought was insane. Because I think you should probably take some time before you make that claim, but
especially like this.
Yeah, he loved it. And then Cody, I think, was probably like 8.5, 9. He was higher than I was.
And he really wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
Which I would get a lot out of seeing this again, but I'm not ready to the theater to see it again.
What did Chuck think of it?
He was a little more lukewarm than both of us, I think.
Okay.
But I talked to him, so we were going to the theater, he was just like, man, he was disappointed.
Yeah.
Which I kind of was too.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought it was going to be something really, really special, and I don't even know what to make of it.
Right.
And I talked to him yesterday about it, and he's just like, you know what, I've been thinking about it, reading up more on it, it's good, but I think he's lower than both of us still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind of a wide range of feelings on the movie. So we'll get into spoilers here. So what I was hinting at was, there's like, in ads on the news, they're talking about like work free, or I forget what they're called. We'll just call them work free. Work free communes and stuff, where people have a job for life and have housing for life. And I thought that was just to make the world weird, but it wasn't going to tie in or anything. And then once it ties in, I think the movie gets worse for it, because he becomes a power caller for that company. And then the horse people.
The horse people.
It ruined it for me.
Yeah, I think you said, it jumps a shark when the horse people come on. It's just, I don't know.
Because
I was startled by it, but
yeah,
I think it jumbles up everything.
Yeah, and I like the beginning where he's like falling into rooms and like making calls, and like,
I love that.
He's like kind of like selling his soul to become rich. He's like turning his back on his friends and his girlfriend.
He's also losing his blackness. He's assimilating to the white culture.
Right.
And
David Cross and Patton Oswalt voices in this are just so funny.
And those are the perfect 2 guys for it.
Yeah,
so distinctive.
Yeah, so great. But yeah, so I love that message of it all. But then when they go at, I guess like capitalism, I don't even know what they're going at the end with horse people, it just gets too ridiculous. Because the movie is ridiculous from the jump. So maybe some people are set up for it to get that weird, but for me, it just totally blindsided me, and I really did not like it at all.
Yeah, when he first fell, I'm like, that's the monster from Shape of Water, and then I'm like, oh no, it's a horse. But he's attacking capitalism. He's attacking like garbage television, just like mindless entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
He's attacking. I don't know, what would you even call when the can hits him in the head and he becomes a viral star? Attacking...
Yeah, kind of like YouTube stars. They're kind of like, I guess it's social
celebrity,
media.
Social media.
Yeah, 15-minute celebrities and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's saying the black man's struggle to raise yourself out of poverty. There's so many messages in here that all could have been one movie.
Yeah, it gets convoluted.
Yeah,
there's too much.
There's just and like, the last act, he's trying to jam them all down your throat at the same time, and it was overload. It was hurting my head.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And then when the horses came, it was just like, no, I don't need this now.
Right.
That was a lot.
Yeah, like if I'm blanking on the dude's name. What is Lakeith Stanfield's name in the movie? I don't even remember.
Cash.
Cash. So if Cash was just working for Armie Hammer, who was amazing in this movie,
Oh my God.
he was cracking me up the entire time. The line of coke that he blows, that's like 6 feet long. I was dying laughing. But if it was just like him working for Armie Hammer and like trying to sell basically slavery, that would have been way better than him trying to sell horse people. Like when it takes a ridiculous turn like that, it just I don't know. It totally lessened the movie for me, and even the point. I don't know.
I think it would have been interesting if he was just a telemarketer who got promoted, and now he's trying to sell basically legal slavery.
Yeah.
If that was it, and you kind of just focus on capitalism and also the black man selling out almost to the white culture so he could improve his life or whatever, I think that would have been way more interesting. And I was getting a lot out of the movie, and then at the end it just, I don't know, it lost me.
Yeah. I mean,
I think this movie will age well with me, though. At least we'll remember it.
yeah, it's so memorable because it's just so bizarre and different.
Yeah. This is a movie if you're a cinephile, which is a lame term to use, but if you're a cinephile, you should watch this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's going to...
I think most people will like it. I think people that should watch it or who it's up their alley for would like it. But, like, I think, like, Rossi would hate this movie.
Rossi would hate this movie.
I think most people would hate this movie, but, like, someone who's, I'm not going to say well-equipped, but that's used to, like, kind of out-there movies, I think would like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a movie, like, recently came out that I compare it to. It's really not... It's tough. But yeah, this isn't like this year's Get Out, which I was hearing a lot of people say. Get Out, I think anyone would like it.
Yeah.
And anyone would get something out of it. If my parents saw this movie, they'd just be like... They wouldn't even know where to begin with this movie. Yeah. And my dad would be upset that I made him sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I got a lot out of it. Ish.
Yeah, no, I loved... Like, I was like 10 out of 10 for like the first 3/4 of it. And then I was like 0 out of 10 for the last quarter.
And for only being an hour and 45 minutes long, this movie feels
long as
3
shit.
hours long.
Yeah, it feels really long.
It feels so long.
It just keeps going and keeps getting more and more ridiculous. And it lessens the more it gets ridiculous.
It loses its meaning. It's just like, my head's hurting. What do you think of the last scene? A post-credit scene, sort of.
Sort of, yeah. I didn't understand it. Why did it take so long for that to kick in?
I know. I just thought it was...
And where is the world at that moment, that moment in time? Like, are there still horse people that are like now living in the world? Or did they die? That's never explained or anything. The state of the world radically changes, but then there's no like conclusion to it.
And also, why is him and Tessa Thompson together at the end? Because she makes it very clear that she doesn't want to be with him. Is it because, I don't know, he already changed his ways and now she takes it back? That wasn't even stated.
Yeah.
That's just a little side note.
Also...
But yeah, I agree. And as far as that last scene's concerned, it just felt like a cheap trick.
Yeah.
Almost like just shock.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to shock you the last minute. It's like, And that's so much a guy's first movie. Where he's just trying to like, take that. Yeah. Try to revolutionize everything.
He does so much good in this movie, but he also just does so much amateurish stuff, I guess.
Yeah, like I'll definitely see his next movie.
Yeah, for sure. Also, so Cash basically becomes the Black MLK, Horse MLK as Armie Hammer intends. So he basically gets what Armie Hammer wanted, but he isn't under the control of Armie Hammer.
And at the end, you had to think that they'd kill Armie Hammer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I'm saying way more negatives about the movie than I should be, but Those are the things that stick out. I'm just explaining why it's not a 10 out of 10, which I fully expected it to be when I walked into the theater.
I thought, I this was my most anticipated movie of the year.
I thought this was
not even Incredibles, probably.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be no-brainer, like favorite movie of the year.
Yeah,
but it's just good.
The cast brought it though.
Yes.
Tessa Thompson and Cash. What's Cash's name?
Keith Stanfield.
They both absolutely killed this.
Terry Crews is in there for a second. He's great.
Yeah, he is.
Steven Yeun.
Danny Glover's in it.
Danny Glover's fantastic in it.
But you know what I'll tell you about Danny Glover is you could tell Danny Glover was only on set for 3 days.
Yeah.
Because there's certain scenes where you're like, well, Danny Glover should be here, but he's not.
Right. Yeah. What the hell is Danny Glover even doing these days? I think it's Steven Yeun. That could be,
trying to just telling people he's not related to Donald Glover.
Yeah. The dude from Walking Dead, the Asian guy. He's good. And he had more to do with the movie than I thought he would.
A lot more to do.
I was actually pulling for him and Tessa.
Yeah, because Cash
becomes a bad dude for a bit there.
And I guess he becomes a good dude at the end.
And I love how, like, Tessa Thompson is, like, activist to the nth degree. All of her shirts have a political message on it. And she's, I loved her character a ton. Yep. That could be my major bias because I'm in love with her, but...
You know she's 34?
No way.
Yep.
Good for her.
Took her a while to get going. Good old Creed. Old Coogler discovered her.
The Cougs. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else to say, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we did a good job. That was fair.
Both disappointed, but both still liked it.
Yeah.
To summarize. Did you watch anything else this week?
So I watched Hearts Beat Loud.
How good.
So good. I watched it with my buddy Brett, and like 5 minutes in the movie, I look over at Brett and I said, "This would be your favorite movie of all time." He's like, "I know." Really good. It's almost so good. It's like one of those things where you don't really know how to talk about it, but like you said last podcast, their chemistry is incredible. Her love story with her partner, it's not forced at all. I think you even brought that up. It's not like, oh look, there's 2 lesbians here. It just feels very natural, like a teen relationship would be.
And I love how it's not like she has to come out to her dad. It's just like, do you have a girlfriend? And he just like said, like they've already talked about it. They're like, that's the status quo in the house. Like,
oh my god, yeah! If they made that a plot point, I would have thrown up. And then there's even a joke. He's like, "Oh, is it a boyfriend?" She's like, "Come on."
Yeah.
That was funny. All the songs are money.
I've been bumping them.
I'd imagine. What's the main one?
Hearts Beat Loud.
Hearts Beat Loud. I imagine that's going to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song. Nick Offerman is the perfect person to play that role.
Yeah, he shreds too, dude. I wonder if that's actually him.
I bet he can play the guitar.
Well, he's like a carpenter. Like he has his own shop.
Just an interesting man.
Interesting man.
Because if you put like a different actor in that role, a lot of those lines aren't funny.
Oh yeah, I know.
But with him, he just nails.
Even the mid movie, I'm like, I'm only laughing because this is Offerman.
Yeah,
and his delivery is just so
he just
funny.
Kills it. He's just he's one of the funniest actors alive.
Yeah.
And he's so charming. Mm-hmm. And you're pulling for both of them.
Yeah.
And it ends well.
Yeah.
You're not even quite sure what to feel at the end of the movie, but you feel good.
Yeah.
My favorite scene was when he was there's 2 favorite Nick Offerman lines in the movie. The one was "Oh, thank you for taking me to dinner. You didn't have to do this." And she goes, "It's the least I could do." And he goes, "Well, I'm glad you did the least you could do for me." I never realized how ridiculous that line actually is. Yeah. And the other one was when he was trying to get a gig for them. And he's like, "Oh, we can lie on how many people we can bring. I mean, how many, how many people that would show up to our show." Yeah. And it says, it specifically states you can't. He's like, "That's fine. 60. And then a bit later, he's like, "You know what? It's 65. Yeah. I thought that was funny. Yeah. But, I highly recommend seeing it, but unfortunately, I think it's out of theaters. I saw it the last day possible at Cedar Lake. But I imagine this movie will be on a streaming service before the end of the year. Yeah. So
it wasn't Amazon, was it?
No.
Okay.
I think it's really indie. I didn't even recognize anything.
I meant to bring this up at last podcast, but the movie semi-ending with Offerman just chugging a Hams was just like, all right, this is my movie.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Offerman's beard, too, is almost distracting.
Mm-hmm.
But it always is. Have you seen him in anything besides Parks and Rec? Because I haven't.
He's in an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm sure I have, but just nothing's coming to mind.
Because I walked out of the theater talking to Brett, who's a big Nick Offerman fan, and I go, man, I didn't know he had it in him. Like, that was a great performance. And he goes, oh, have you not seen Nick Offerman or anything? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, you should see, I forget what movie it was. Sorry, Brett. But he's like, yeah, like, he's big and, like, he does a decent amount of indies. Like, that's right up his alley.
Like, he's in the Jump Street, 21 Jump Street. He's the captain, just for, like, a hot second.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he always plays a lot of, like, in big movies, he probably just plays the small, like, cameos kind of things. But, yeah, maybe he's just a big indie guy, yeah.
Fun. I had a blast with it. And only 90 minutes long. That movie soars.
Yeah.
Soars. So, also saw Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Oh, nice.
I listened to Liam and Antonio's podcast on it. They did a super good job dissecting the movie, so I won't bore you guys with giving my take on it. But that's the first doc I've ever seen in theaters my whole entire life. Kind of embarrassing to say, but I got a lot out of it. He is an incredible, incredible man, and so misunderstood. And his message about just children expressing emotion and how really we all should express emotion is really worthwhile. And made me feel good.
I think they may have touched on this in their review, but do you have any memories of watching?
Yes. The only thing I remember is I was talking to my mom about this afterwards. She's like, you weren't a big Sesame Street fan. Like, that was on before Sesame Street, but maybe my grandma would watch it. She's like, maybe she put it on for you, because I remember the only thing I remember from it is the intro of him putting on the sweater, tying his shoes, feeding the fish. And then I also distinctly remember one memory of him, like, there was a picture frame, and then they would go into, like, a place where things were made. And Antonio talked about this, too. And I just remember, like, being like a factory. I don't think I watched too much of Mr. Rogers. Yeah. But I just basically him tying his shoes. I remember that.
Yeah, I watched it growing up. I don't know if it was a lot or little, but yeah, I have very few memories. I'm sure if I saw the documentary, it would just re-jog my memory and I'd remember more. But yeah, for someone who watched it, I really don't remember that much. I'm sure I watched it from ages 0 to 4, though. So like,
yeah, it ended, I think, at the end of 2000, so we were as old as 5.
Yeah.
So, like, it's hard to have memories from that. I just have little blurbs, but I don't think I watched it that much.
Yeah, I want to check that out. But speaking of documentaries, I watched The Queen of Versailles, about the owner of Westgate timeshares and his family and their stupid amount of wealth. And, man, it makes you hate rich people and money in general, because these people have everything and they just take so many things for granted. It's disgusting. It got to the point where I just hated watching the movie.
Oh, I actually read a book that my roommate Mitch gave it to me this week, and it says The Art of Not Giving a Shit. And it's one of the number one self-help books of the last couple of years. And in it says once you have your basic needs, food, shelter, the amount of wealth that you gain after that is not going to make you a happier person.
These two people are miserable.
Yeah.
They hate each other, the husband and wife. I highly recommend the documentary. It's really fascinating.
So what's it called?
The Queen of Versailles.
Queen of Versailles.
They built the biggest house in America, and then they got halfway through it, but then the financial crisis happened. So I don't know what the documentary was originally supposed to be, because it shows this family at their peak of wealth, but they're about to build the biggest house in America. It's basically a palace, and then
like America's Versailles.
Yeah, and then 2008 happens, and then they just have quote unquote nothing. I mean, he's still a billionaire, but and it's super interesting to watch. I highly recommend it. I watched it because the woman, I had heard a lot about it, but the woman that directed it, I think it's a woman, has a new movie coming out at the end of this year, documentary about the 1% in America, which looks really fascinating. So yes, I saw that. Been playing a ton of FIFA in the aftermath of the World Cup, kicking my roommates' asses. Started playing BioShock Infinite again, game from 2013, which I love, but I haven't played since. But yeah, I haven't really watched any TV or movies this week.
I read The Little Prince.
How good is The Little Prince?
My buddy Ian Jones, shout out to Ian Jones, he has a tattoo of the fox on his finger,
nice.
on his ring finger, and so inside his ring finger, and I'm like, hey, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's the fox from The Little Prince. And I said, oh, I've been meaning to read that. He's like, Mike, you could read it in one sitting.
I think it takes 5 minutes to read.
Yeah, he's like, you could read it in one sitting. Do your favor and read that book. So I read it last weekend, and it literally takes no time, and it's an incredible read. And it's a children's. He described it a children's book made for adults. Yes. That's very true.
And I wish I could nail the Rose quote of taking care of your rose and it belonging to you and stuff, because that's like the whole thrust of the book. We read it in theology class, and yeah, that book's amazing. There's so much hidden meaning in there that I'm sure would go over a kid's head, but yeah.
Every page is just like a gut punch almost.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm a terrible person.
I know. Yeah, it's fantastic. Have you seen the movie?
I have not. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. Have you? Yeah, I've seen it. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but
I think that was everyone's thought on it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a loaded cast, but yeah, it's okay. Anything else?
When something Zappa loved, though, it's tough to adapt.
Right.
That's why Peter Jackson is a mastermind.
Right. And I think they did a cool thing with it. Because, I mean, the book is 140 pages, but it's like one sentence on each page. Like, it's like super, super short. They split it up where half of it is the book and half of it is a kid and a adult living out the teachings of the book, basically.
Oh. Yeah. That's good, because you couldn't... The adaptation would probably be 45 minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's just, I don't know. I didn't love it. Yeah.
I'll probably give it a watch. Probably only an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, it's short. Anything else from you, Mike?
Nope. What's next week?
What is next week? Mission Impossible.
All right. My first Mission Impossible will be Mission Impossible 5.
Spoiler alert, I'll give this movie a 10 out of 10. No, you should watch Mission Impossible 1, 4, and 5.
Is this 6?
This is 6.
Which one's Brad Bird? 3?
Brad Bird is 4.
4.
If you only want to watch 2, do 4 and 5. Because 4 is Brad Bird, 5 is Chris McQuarrie, and then 6 is Chris McQuarrie. It's the same guy. So I'd say 4 and 5, for sure.
How well do they tie into each other? Not well?
They barely do. Yeah. Some characters carry over, like Vin Rames carries over, Simon Pegg does, starting in the 3rd one. Jeremy Renner starting in the 4th one.
And Tom Cruise.
And Tom Cruise is in all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else is like a mainstay? Maybe only Vin Rames. I'm sure I'm missing someone. But yeah, they're great movies. They're a ton of fun. So yeah, we'll be doing that next week. Anything else to add, Mike?
Nothing.
Nope. All right.
Have a nice weekend, guys.
Yep. Follow me weekend.
Week,
yeah.
Have a nice week, guys.
Follow me at Cash Money Keegan, Mike at _Oglebay, us at movie_ReBrew. Subscribe and follow on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Rate and comment. We'd appreciate it. Yeah. So next week we'll do Mission Impossible Fallout, my favorite movie of the year.
It'll probably be via Skype.
Probably via Skype. Yeah, we've been lucky that you've come down the last couple of weeks as you're moving out. But
this is it. Hopefully you can figure it out. All right. See you guys. Peace.
Maybe she'll stay.